What's up, everybody? BigSweetC here with you. Got a special little video for you. Today I want to talk about Resident Evil 4 Remake. This game, as we've come kind of accustomed to here in 2023, was an absolute fantastic game that I enjoyed playing a lot. Now, first I want to kind of say that it actually did have quite a bit to live up to. Like, Resident Evil 4 is probably my favorite Resident Evil game, and to be honest with you, I didn't really think that there was a whole lot that they could actually make better, so to speak, with this game, outside of the obvious, like, graphics and whatnot. But this is a genuine remake of this game. A ton of things were different. Like, you had the Krauser fight with is totally different. You have this island where he's got these booby traps still, but there's no other enemies on the board. You kind of fight him in this like knife style where they have this new parry system where you can block with the knife. Very different way of combat. And there was also noticeable differences in mostly the second half of the game, but like I feel like the laboratory that you went through to kind of get the bug out of Leon and Ashley was totally different. Like it didn't seem familiar outside of a couple of aspects. The enemies that chased you and the being able to freeze people, even I wasn't actually able to get any of the stupid things to blow up and freeze the enemies, but like it felt noticeably different in the way that it played out. You had these computer games where you had to unlock and stuff like that. Ashley has a much bigger role to play. There's that moment when you're trying to get up into Lewis's laboratory, and she's using the wrecking ball to break down the wall to get to the elevator and everything. So she has a much bigger role in this one, and so it is a genuine remake, not just kind of like a remastered version, but you can't call it a remastered version because you already have a remastered version. This was a very well done game that drew on what was good about the first one, the creepy setting, the fact that you're this like superhero Leon Kennedy that everybody loves from Resident Evil 2, and the storytelling is fantastic. You have this Los Iluminados group who's these crazy religious nutbags. I shouldn't call them nutbags because religion is what it is. People believe it for a reason. It's called faith. Another story for another day. You have these people that are like being legitimately controlled by the blood and everything, very reminiscent of like Resident Evil 7. But this was first, they discovered these little bug things in the amber, in the mines here, and they were able to mind control people. And so instead of it being like a typical religious cult where they just kind of have these blind followers, they were legitimately like being mind controlled by this family. And I think that story is absolutely a fantastic story. Like, I liked it when it was originally done. And they did a very good job keeping up with that same type of feel in this one. But obviously, the paint coating is much better in this one. It's still the RE engine, but I don't know if they had actually developed that when 4 originally came out. I believe it came out for GameCube in 2005, but I didn't play it until a few years later on what would have been Xbox 360, but I played it on an Xbox One. But it was instantly one of my favorite games in the Resident Evil series, and so it had quite a bit to live up to in this, and it surpassed even what I thought was going to be, a legitimate 2 thumbs up game. So as I was saying before, you have the different combat aspect of it, but you also have there's the blue medallion mini game, but it's come back tenfold. You have these little mini quests where you go and you kill these certain items for the merchant, so you can gather favor with the merchant, which were fantastic ideas, little additions to the game that you can do basically while you're playing the game if you care to take the time to do so. But you can still speed run this, just like you could the original. The gameplay is a lot smoother, obviously, again, because you have the newer technology and the better equipment to use. But it was generally like, it was clunky back then, and it's very smooth. The aiming system, instead of having that like kind of bigger circle that takes up, a good chunk of the screen, you just have your little red scope sight and kind of like an area of effect, so to speak. and so they just made like minor improvements to the gameplay of this that really made it stand out from the original. And the original was already my favorite Resident Evil game, so this one's definitely my favorite now. The voice acting I thought was fantastic, and I had mentioned her before. Lily Gao is the name of the lady that played Ada. She was harassed a lot because people didn't like her performance as Ada Wong, and I think they're crazy. I thought she was fantastic. You know, I had mentioned this before. Ada Wong is both in it and not in it. She cares for Leon, but only to the extent that it, you know, helps her out. So, so that's how I feel like Ada would be. You know, she would be very nonchalant about things, very straight to the point. So I thought Lily Gao did a great job. I also thought Nick Apostolides, I hope I pronounced that correctly, was fantastic as Leon Kennedy, Genevieve Buckner as Ashley Graham, and even Mike Kovac as Jack Krauser, because he even has like a little bit of an expanded role. You kind of understand who he is through the backstory, but in this one, he's a legitimate boss. You know. Speaking of legitimate bosses, I think Salazar, Ramon Salazar, looks a lot better. He looks a lot creepier, looks a lot more his age. And his boss fight was kind of tweaked a little bit. You know, he's talking shit to you while you're fighting this spider thingy. But in this one, you're like kind of on this like little stairway, which is a very unique kind of idea and he's like going around the level in more of like a 3D environment, 360, full 360 environment instead of kind of more, you know, that 2D platformer style. The boss fight with at the very end with and I can't remember the stupid like leader's name, but it doesn't matter. You know, it was fairly similar and kind of the same thing. I blew him up with a rocket, and that was it. But little tweaks to the story made this game absolutely fantastic. The graphics were fantastic, but the gameplay is probably what impressed me the most. I really enjoyed the Jack Krauser fight. Before you kind of had the, you know, boogie traps or whatever, but it wasn't him chasing you. It was a bunch of army guys that he had with him, and then you kind of fought him at the end. But this one, it's all him, and he's shooting at you with a sniper rifle, and you got to fight back and stuff. It was very well put together. And I, you know, before I kind of start rambling on, I just want to say that I really enjoyed this game a lot, even more than I thought I was going to. Now, having said that, I actually went out and bought the digital deluxe version so I could get kind of like the bonus features, the little medallion things that you get for your suitcase that give you bonus health from, you know, from greens or, you know, increased ammunition created, that kind of thing. And so and I've always said this before, I don't mind paying a little extra for a game from a company that I find worth paying for, and Capcom is a company that for years I've thought was worth paying for. So I would absolutely buy this at full price again, and I would get the digital deluxe version. Not that you really need it, you know. It's a pretty straightforward game, and you do have the multiple. You still have the multiple difficulty settings that you can do and stuff like that. But it seems it's just a better play, you know. And if you've never played Resident Evil 4, like I was saying, it's my favorite. I know most people enjoy it probably the most of any of them. But it's a fantastic game, and if you've never played it before, now's the time to jump in and get this guy, because it's a phenomenal survival horror game. It's got me excited for the genre to make a comeback. You've got Silent Hill 2 Remake is coming out at some point, I think this year, maybe early next year. So it's a genre that's not really going away, but has kind of I think fallen off a little bit. Of the most of the survival horrors that I can think of were more like Telltale games, Man of Medan type of stuff, which I enjoy, but it's not like Resident Evil, it's not like Outlast, and so there's a lot of survival horror coming out, and if it's anything like Resident Evil 4 Remake was, it's going to be a fantastic genre again. and I'm really looking forward to it. So, you know, before I just kind of continue rambling on, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. This game was absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend it. It came out in a year where any kind of little bit of letdown is probably getting swept under the rug because it's been such a good year of games. Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor is out there now. Tears of the Kingdom just dropped like a few days ago, a week ago, something like that. You know, we've got 2 Final Fantasy games coming out. This could have very easily been swept under the rug if it was even slightly bad. And I don't think they dropped the ball whatsoever. I think Capcom hit a home run with this one, and this probably should be, you know, up there for one of the greatest games of the year, in my opinion. I think I would put this in the top 5 or top 10, however many they choose at the end of the year. And so it's, you know, it's a testament to the game that it was. It's a testament to the game that it is, because it's hard to, you know, make a game be the best twice. Because there are people like me out there that do kind of have high expectations, and when they're met, it's actually kind of mind-blowing nowadays, you know. But again, 2 huge thumbs up. If you haven't checked this one out, or if you're just kind of waiting, you can get it on sale. Obviously, I always recommend doing that, but it is worth full price if you got some money burning a hole in your pocket. I highly recommend it. Go out and play this any way that you can. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Am I right about Lily Wong? Is she any good? Or Lily Gao, sorry, about Ada Wong. Is she good, or am I just a douche and don't know anything? Hit those comments up below. Also, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell so you know when I do drop a new video or go live. We have the set days for the live streams. They are Saturday and Sunday. But my start time kind of is dictated by my son right now. So it'll be anywhere between 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hit that notification bell so you know when I actually do go live, and come join the live streams if you guys want to see all this stuff live. Either way, that's going to do it for this one. BigSweetC, that's me. Wishing YouTube, that's you. Wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it might be. As long as you're watching, I'm wishing you a wonderful watching time. Sweetness, signing off. Peace.